All the information shared in this video is available on the public platform. Nothing is discussed here which may breach the confidentiality of our armed forces. Defense Detective respects our defense forces and works only on the information that is available for public use.
India aims to achieve defense exports worth 50,000 crores rupees by 2028 to 29, with Prime Minister Modi's Make in India initiative playing a pivotal role in revitalizing the defense sector for Delhi. India's defense exports crossed 21,000 crores rupees, approximately $2.7 billion, for the first time, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh announced on 1st April. It was a spectacular growth of 32.5% over the previous fiscal. The minister added that defense exports have grown 31 times in the past 10 years compared to FY 2013-14. The growth reflected the global acceptability of Indian defense products and technologies. The private sector and the DPSUs contributed about 60% and 40%, respectively. India's interim defense budget for 2024-25 was 6,21,541 crore rupees, approx $75 billion, 1.72 lakh rupees crore, 27.67%, was for capital acquisition, 75% of which has to be spent on Made in India capital purchases. The ongoing conflict in Europe and West Asia has exposed defense production capacities, surge production capabilities and limitations, and supply chain dynamics. India remains among the top arms importers. Self-sufficiency in arms production has become highly desirable and a must for India if it has to sit on the global high table. PM Modi-led Indian government had realized early and pushed Atmanirbharta. Make in India derives the highest returns in defense production as the technologies are not easily shared. India has two nuclear-armed neighbors with both. India has somewhat hostile relations and has fought wars. Credit for India's defense exports success must go to the Government of India for driving and facilitating defense production and exports, and no less, to the around 50 major Indian public and private sector companies and hundreds of MSMEs who played a pivotal role. It required considerable innovation and meeting global quality standards. The GOI has set up the Tech Development Fund and Funding Innovation for Defense Excellence, IDX. Defense exports reached across geographical regions to countries such as Italy, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Russia, UAE, Poland, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Armenia, Egypt, Israel, Spain, and Chile, among others. Among the major defense items being exported or to be exported are choppers, missiles, aircraft avionics, offshore patrol vehicles, coastal surveillance systems, personal protective items, light engineering mechanical parts, and aircraft protection systems, among others. Indian Armed Forces are very actively supporting indigenization. Army Technology Board, ATB, Army Design Bureau, ADB, Naval Design Bureau, and IAF's Directorate of Indigenization interface with the academia and industry for their requirements. A few big private industrial houses are now well established in aircraft defense manufacturing. Tata Aerospace and Defense have been making the combat helicopter fuselage for Boeing A-64 Apache combat helicopter and aerostructures for Boeing's CH-47 Chinook helicopters. All Lockheed C-130Js delivered to customers worldwide have major aerostructure components from India. Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin company, also relies on Hyderabad-based Tata Advanced System Limited, TASIL, to manufacture its global supply of cabins for the S-92 helicopter. Tata Group is working with GE to manufacture CFM International LEAP engine components in India. Lockheed Martin selected TASIL to produce F-16 wings in India. Recent foreign orders for Indian companies. The Philippines has begun receiving Indian-built BrahMos cruise missiles as part of the initial $375 million contract, India's largest defense export order ever. Airbus awarded TASIL a contract for aircraft cargo doors. Dynamatic Technologies signed a long-term contract with Dassault to manufacture and assemble flight-critical aerostructures for Falcon aircraft. They also secured a contract to build doors for Airbus A220 aircraft. Recent domestic orders. In April 2024, MOD issued 65,000 crore rupees $8.1 billion tender to HAL for 97 Tejas Mark 1 fighter jets. Mazago Dock Shipbuilders Ltd, MDL, will build 14 fast patrol vessels for the Indian Coast Guard. Cochin Shipyard will make a hybrid wind farm service vessel. MOD placed an order on bail for 11 Shakti electronic warfare systems for the Indian Navy. All got an order for 463 stabilized remote control guns for the Indian Navy and Indian Coast Guard and will supply 30mm AK-630 naval guns. Recent defense investments in India. PM Modi inaugurated a new state-of-the-art Boeing India Engineering and Technology Center campus in Bengaluru. Israeli chipmaker Tower Semiconductor will set up a fabrication plant worth $8 billion in India. Kalyani Group plans to establish a titanium metal and aerospace components manufacturing facility in Odisha. Recent major DRDO projects and successes. DRDO recently tested the 155x52 attacks by installing it on BEML's lighter armored truck. Indian Army issued a request for information, RFI, in April 2021 to procure 354 locally manufactured light tanks for deployment in challenging terrain. DRDO's Joravar light tank is expected to be ready for user trials soon. L&T is likely to produce and supply 59 Joravar light tanks. ADE is developing a new male-class UAV called the Archer-NG. The first flight is expected by mid-2024. India is all set to test the indigenous 500 km range submarine-launched cruise missile that will go on to the indigenous submarines under Project 75, India, by the Indian Navy. India recently demonstrated MIRV capability on Agniveer, which has a range of 5,000 kilometers. DRDO is close to success in surface and airborne directed energy weapons, DEW. DRDO is also at the advanced stage of indigenous SR radar for Su-30 MKI. DRDO anti-drone technology is ready for production by BAIL and the private sector. DRDO's Datran 1500 HP engine prototype for the DRDO's futuristic main battle tank, FMBT, is getting ready. Major defense joint ventures and collaborations. Mahindra Defence and DRDO will jointly develop an 8x8-wheeled CBRN for the Indian Army. Bharat Forge and DRDO will jointly make indigenous 105mm guns. Pan Indian Aerospace and Defence has signed a strategic partnership with Godrej Aerospace to leverage their combined expertise to accelerate the design and development of gas turbine engines for both aerospace and naval applications. IIT Madras is partnering with Munitions India for indigenous 155mm smart ammunition. Jindal Advanced Materials, JAM, signed a MoU with the Tamil Nadu government to set up a new manufacturing plant in Trichy. Airbus and Tata Group are making a helicopter manufacturing hub in India. MDL and Atla Japan look at undersea platforms and robotics collaboration. Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Ltd, GRSE, and Rolls-Royce partnered for advanced marine engineering production. Midhani offers critical materials needed for manufacturing aircraft engines and aerospace vehicles and will be a major supplier for US-based GE Aerospace manufacturing F-414 fighter jet engines in India. The recent Indesex Summit in New Delhi was meant to support strategic technology partnerships and defense industrial cooperation between India and the USA. India and France agreed to adopt the Defense Industrial Roadmap and explore opportunities for partnership in the defense industrial sector. Academia supporting defense indigenization. IIT Mandi is developing a quantum computer that will use photons for computing. IIT Madras is building a world-class facility for ocean engineering and maritime technology. IIT Jammu is working on anti-drone systems. IIT Kanpur has created India's first hypervelocity expansion tunnel test facility, S2, which DRDO and ISRO will use. IIT Guwahati is working on semiconductors. IIT Jodhpur is making a 3D printed hybrid UAV prototype for all domains. IITB Bangalore and the Software Development Institute, SDI, of the IAF are collaborating on defense software. Central Scientific Instruments Organization, CSIO, Chandigarh and HAL have established a Center of Excellence for Avionics. highest level push and way ahead. The evolving global security environment and India's global power aspirations underscore the imperative need for India to fortify its defense production capabilities and foster self-reliance. India's defense exports were now at an all-time high and growing rapidly.